Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great episode of Mind Body Content. We are your hosts, Nick Pinelli, Raymond Oliveras, and I am Chris Lawler. And our mission every week is to educate you about the three things all entrepreneurs must pay attention to: mind, body, and that content. So please don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe on wherever you consume your content. On today's show, we're going to be talking about sales, clients, and how we got our first ones that set us on the path to becoming the entrepreneurs we are today. Nick, Raymond, welcome back. How are we doing today?
Whew,
Ooh.
fantastic.
I
Yeah.
am so excited about this topic. It's
Are
gonna
we
be,
really good?
yeah, nitty gritty, dirty. We're going deep. It's
Gloves are coming off.
yeah,
Is that
gloves
what
are
we're gonna
coming
have to
off.
do?
This is the real life stuff.
Okay.
That's what I
The
think.
real life
That's what it's-
stories of the
Yeah.
rich and famous kind of thing.
The,
Well,
the,
Yeah.
of
Well,
the on their way.
almost.
Of the on their way.
are we
So,
starting a reality show? Is that what's happening, Nick? Is that
Yeah, pretty much. I
oh
don't know if
man.
anyone would want to follow me around while I sit at this desk and edit 12 hours a day, but sure.
But the editing of that episode would be really easy.
Really good. Yeah. Oh man. Well, right on. Well, to start things off today, we've got our mindset piece. We're going to talk about this quote and throw it on over to Nick. Take it away, man.
Absolutely. So, the quote here today is: great salespeople are relationship builders who provide value and help their customers win. So, the best, I mean, for me, there are two huge parts here. One is about building a relationship. And a lot of times people tend to think of that just as like building rapport with your client or whoever as you're trying to build up the sales process. It's not just about that, but it's like, how deep do we go into what's the second part here is helping their customers win. We have to identify to what is a win for them. And in order to do that, we really need to build up not just like a friendship relationship, but like a really business minded, focused relationship. So I just think that this quote is really, really cool. I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts on something like this?
Absolutely. I mean, once again, if you're not providing value so that, and this is for everyone, not just as content creators, but if you're selling a product or selling a service and it does not do what it is labeled to do and helps that person achieve the end result that you promise, then you're not providing that value. And I love that because I love helping businesses, grow and see the value in the content that they could be using to build up their brand, educate people about who they are, what they do, and how they can serve the community.
Yeah, I think that's the awesome thing about content in general is like when we create content, we're still thinking, even if it's like an ad to try and sell
Hmm.
somebody on something, like the idea still is, what does this person need to see and how can we provide value to them right off the bat so that as they get more invested, they want to see more and we feel like we can give them more and more and more and more. That's how you develop a win-win offer is you do something that is good for them and good for you. You're both getting value at that
Yeah,
point.
100%.
And I still hear a bunch of entrepreneurs. I don't know if you guys are going through this, but I hear a bunch of entrepreneurs that say, "Oh, I'm not really a salesperson," or "I don't really like sales." And that was my mindset personally for the first
Yeah.
bit. I have since evolved, but I see both of you grinning over there. So I think it's time we get into this story that we've all got of what it was like to go through our first sale
Yeah.
and then how we approach sales now. So, Raymond, my friend, my confidant. I mean, not that you're not Chris, you are. But Raymond, you've been assigned to go first, my friend. Tell us
uh,
your story.
well, with sales, it's been, I mean, being a salesperson is just there's always these positive and negative conversations that people have about it. And my sales journey has been very interesting because I used to be a knife salesman. Like if you ever heard of Cutco, I used um and like
Corta, corta.
what?
Spanish for cut. Keep
Oh,
going.
like okay, okay. No, so but once I got done with the knife sales stuff, and then I went into selling like video stuff. Um like I literally had no idea what I was doing because in knife sales I had like they gave me a script to do.
Right.
The script was, it was great and stuff until it wasn't. And I didn't understand why the script wasn't working for me. And really it was my belief in myself and the product of that I was selling. And I know that now. But when I got into video sales and I had no idea what to do, I was looking for people to help me. Like I did things for like really cheap at first off. And I like one sales process I had for like my first video or one of my first videos, I had a list of questions like I would read and just answer. And I had no idea why I was reading these questions and getting all these answers. Um, and then it was kind of like more like in the marketing stuff, like your ideal client, stuff like that. And I was like, I didn't really know. And then I took all those answers, took kind of what they were, their vision and stuff, like their vibe, developed like 3 different commercial ideas or 4 different commercials, gave them different packages on what it would cost, and I told them why I think which one would do what for them. Um, and so that was like my first like sales
Yeah.
as like a video
But you
person.
were doing ABC. You were always be closing still from your old job mindset. That's why you had prepackaged things, right?
Yeah.
And just
Well,
shoehorned them into that, like, this is the package.
Well, yeah, I was like, yeah. I mean, I just really felt like the one of them. It was like different ideas.
Right.
Gave like 3 different creative ideas, and I wasn't showing like necessarily the value of the stuff. I was like, this one, the one that they went for, and the one that I was like, you guys should go for this, was like exactly like their vibe, exactly how they wanted to showcase who they are and stuff. And so I was just more passionate about that. I believed in that one more than the other ones. So that's why they went with that, because I believed in it and I was like, this is right. Like, and they believed me. And so, and they agreed. And I was like, cool. But when I got into actual, like a sales process and learning
And
about
and
stuff,
and real quick, how much was your first project for? How
Yeah.
much did you make?
so for that one in particular, which wasn't my first paid project, the first time I ever like sold something, it was just like, we have $500, and I was like, I can do it.
Yeah, sure, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was $1,000,
Okay.
and oh my gosh, it's probably been the most intensive thing I've like done. I had 30 extras plus 3 actors and 2 days of shooting.
What?
What?
Yeah, like I didn't pay for the 30 extras, and the actors. One of them was the owner, and then the 2 were friends. They're all paid in pizza. Um, I think I
Dang,
gave them a
just the
little bit more.
management cost alone, like your headaches must have cost you a lot for all
Yeah,
that.
no, it was honestly, that
That's
almost
an
like
intense shoot
burned me
for
out.
$1,000, man.
Yeah, it burned me
That's an
out,
intense shoot
really.
for like 10,000. You
No, I
know?
was terrified. Like $1,000 was the most I ever gotten charged for anything. And they were still like, that's a lot when I did it. And now I think after that fact, I was like, I haven't done another video like that since. And it's been
Yeah.
since that was 2019 or 2018.
Because now
Um,
you know, right? Like now you know how to show the value
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
creatives that you're making instead of like, well, it's going to cost me this much time and I'm going to have to hire someone and that's why it's this price. It's like, no, 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 no. When we do X, Y, and Z with it, we're going to make you this much money. I'm assuming that's where you're at now with your pitches.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a stint when I was learning more of a sales process. I had bought a course on how to run a video business, and it had how to sell in there too. And I didn't have any coaching with that. I just had the course. And for the next 6 months, I got into rooms with people, sales meetings. I think it was like, I don't know, between like 15 sales meetings or 20 sales meetings or stuff like that. I didn't sell shit. I didn't sell anything at all. And then once I bought a course with a mentor that gave me one-on-one coaching. It was in the first little one-on-one kind of stuff where he showed me a different mindset of thinking about sales, where I wasn't thinking of like their clients, the value and stuff like that. I was thinking of like what I can do for them, not what problems are they solving and how I can help them. Uh, and once I
You
did that,
you
uh,
kind of talked with me previously off of this podcast before about how you differentiate between saying like what am I going to do for you versus what are you going to be able to do for your client. Like when you talk about video ads,
Mhm.
can you give us and the listeners a more concrete example of how we might see what the difference is in the way we either ask questions or paint the picture for somebody?
Yeah. I mean, once
um,
again, that sales process is a lot different. Now, you trying to just convince them, this is what I can do for you. Like Nick was saying, it's like,
mhm.
with what we're going to do together, we can do this for your clients. They can have a better experience. They're going to come back to you for more. And you're increasing that lifetime value of that client or member.
Yeah, specifically Raymond, I remember one time you were telling me about like I think it was like a dance studio or
Yeah,
something.
that's
Can
actually
you
this
that
one.
that was one I would
Oh, is
love
that this
to
client?
I would
Yeah,
love to
that's
hear about this.
yeah. So this dance. So basically, the day before I had this meeting, this first meeting with this dance client, or dance studio.
Oh,
Uh-oh,
no,
did
I think we lost Raymond
oh
while he was
no.
telling us the story.
Oh no, exactly. I
That's a
just thought he was
shame.
being very thoughtful about it all. Okay.
It's
Well,
okay. We'll
that's
we'll see if he comes back, but if not, Nick,
hopefully.
you
What a
you can take it away
cliffhanger.
and talk
What
about
a
your first client.
cliffhanger. Oh my gosh. Talk about yeah, sure. So I'll talk about the entire process of getting this first client because it was absolutely crazy. Um, I believed very heartily in myself, but I didn't have any process, any system, any idea of even how to communicate. So when I was first going into sales meetings, I didn't really understand what I was doing by sales. I felt dirty. I had all of the original thoughts that people tend to think about salesmen, like, "Ooh, why am I trying to make money from this? And how is this working?" And it just felt gross. But the first client that I was able to actually secure for, I remember it was with my business partner. And what's crazy is that this is coming up on 12 months ago. So this is like this experience I'm talking about, still really, really fresh. And I think about where I am now and the journey that I've gone through, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a totally different person. But
Hey,
anyway,
like a butterfly.
yeah, butterfly, I'm growing. So this client, oh, he's back.
My
All right.
internet, my internet just completely
Completely
shut off.
dropped. Well,
Oh,
no worries,
dang.
man. We were just about to hear about Nick's first
Yeah.
experience here. So
Yeah, we're here. I think, boys, is it all right if I finish off my cliffhanger, then we can get back to Raymond?
yeah,
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't want to leave the audience in one cliffhanger to go to another cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
you can't do that to people.
It's just rude. So anyway, so my first client was a periodontist office, and I had been working with my business partner who he'd been in sales for a bit longer, but this was really me going out on my own and trying to make this connection and make this deal happen. So I felt very proud of what this experience was going to be like. And I was chronically underselling. I wanted to sell things for like, oh, we can do an entire VBC and hire actors and everything for like $500, you know? And it was like, no, 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 no. So what ended up happening for this particular sale was he came to me, he said, I want specifically a banner video, just a little video that can go up across the top. I was like, okay, great. So we can make it into a commercial and we can hire an actor for you and we can do testimonials and we can also do this, and that. And he was like, sure, fine. That wasn't what he asked for, but if you want to do all these extra things. And I said, if we're going to do all this, can we do it would 2000 work for you? I even asked him the question. I was like, is this okay? To offer that sale. And it ended up working out where that was what he that was what he went for. I thought it was like the biggest thing in the world, $2,000, my first ever sale. Um, and we ended up doing the shoot. It ended up being fine. There was all sorts of other kinds of things, but it gave me confidence that I could sell. Again, no process on how, but I was able to make a sale. Now I said, well, if I'm going to try and do this for a living, I really should understand more. So I bought a course about learning how to sell. I got some coaching on it. I got a whole operating procedure. And I remember the first time I went through the operating procedure with a client, I bombed that sales meeting.
Yeah, that's how
Like
it's
it
gonna
was
go though, right?
it wasn't yeah, exactly, and it wasn't just like, "Oh, this is weird." It's like, it was awkward. I was asking questions over because I was following a script, and I wasn't really there with them,
Yeah.
and it wasn't until I, like, really understood the principles of, like, all that you're doing in a sales meeting is listening to the person, identifying what problem they have, and then identifying, can you actually help with that problem?
Mhm.
It's not even like, I wanna sell you on something, it's, do
They're
I have the ability?
they're going to tell you what they hate doing, where their time is being wasted. If you just give them the chance to be open and honest about it, then you're going to be able to find the solutions better. Because we all know, right? Like we can all show up to every single presentation and know content is going to be the solution to this problem, right? But what kind of content, right? Like you were just talking about that guy wanted a banner at the top. And then you were like, well, let's do all these other things. But then immediately it'd be like, what's the point of the banner?
Yeah,
Right? You
exactly.
should be diving in and coming back with questions. Why the banner? What makes you think that that's going to be the best way to sell your product or service? Right. And then coming up with that solution for everyone, so that you can come to a realization like this is the actual answer, not the five things that I came prepared with, because that's not how we do the sales now. So it's
Well,
fun to go back and think about your cringy earlier
oh gosh,
conversations and how you're having them now, right?
absolutely, and we have the ability to, as content strategists, to really be able to think outside of the box and come up with different solutions, whether it's getting people a bunch of additional really high converting content, or maybe they need to get more eyes on the product, and so we run ad campaigns for them. There's a lot of things that we can do, but there are some businesses that what they do is they have one offer, and all they have is that offer. Well, when you're in the sales meeting, you can't just like make somebody want to buy that. I think I've heard this in a couple of different ways, but the concept basically goes like, you can't create desire, you can only channel it. So you can only make something, like if somebody wants to get to, like if they want to get more clients, if your offer doesn't help people get more clients, then they're not going to go for your offer and you don't have anything to sell to them. But if that's what your offer is all about, then you can help them. And that's just like a marketing example. But I mean, it could be what I want is I want to have a fun summer vacation with my family. Well, if you sell boats, how can you take your offer and make
Right. You
that
know, you
into the
rent
solution for their
boats, but
problem?
what is the thing that you're actually giving them, right? It's a
Yes.
fun day on the water with the family.
Totally, totally. So there's a lot to that. And then one last thing that I did want to say about this before I pass it back to Raymond, because I've got the chair and I need it. I need it right now. No, is a big principle that has been going on for me recently is a lot of times somebody will come up with, our video services and what we have to do. They are what some people might consider to be higher ticketed items. Could be more expensive, could be whatever is going on in that person's life, which is not necessarily wrong. It's what's true for them. But what I would say to those people is, think about the time that I'm spending with you right now and the effort and the change that this is going to be able to provide for you. That only happens if we focus at such a high level at making this the highest converting possible video and really dialing in the system. And if I have to spend my time looking for other clients because I didn't get as much here, I can't focus as much on your business as I'd like to. Like, I'm doing this, the reason that I do this is so that I don't have to go somewhere else trying to find somebody else's business. I can work 10 times harder on your business, or I have to find 10 more clients and I get spread out. It's worse for me and it's worse for you. So that's another big principle that has helped me in defining a lot of how I talk to businesses and how I talk to people too. And it's been absolutely great. For now, I don't feel like I have to close every single sale. Instead, I feel like I have to identify, what is this person's problem? Can I actually help them with this problem? And if that's the case, then the solution is, let's find a way to make that happen for you. You know?
Nice. Yeah, I'm
So,
sold.
yeah,
How do I sign
right?
up?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, great. Well, I can give you all the information now. No. Raymond is back, but he still is muted for some reason.
I was muting myself because I had to move
Ah,
and plug myself into the router.
You're a robot?
Beep boop.
he plugged himself into the router. Beep boop beep beep. We knew it.
Well, Raymond, yeah,
All right.
you left us on a cliffhanger. I want to hear
Yes,
about
about the
Where-
dance studio.
Okay, what was the last thing you heard?
I don't know. That's on you, man. You should have known where you were.
I don't know what the last
Reboot
thing
your
you
memory
heard.
systems. Reboot
That's
your
not-
memory systems, you robot. No,
Let me just refresh the page.
Isn't
I
it in
actually
your
do remember this.
programming?
I actually do remember this. I was asking you, Raymond, specifically. I was like, what changed in your conversations with salespeople, with clients, where
Yeah.
instead of focusing on, oh, these are all the things I can do for you, let's talk about what are we going to do together for your client.
I think
And-
I think the first shift that I had with this clients and stuff and selling is like first understanding what they were actually selling. And I know that sounds weird kind of thing. It's like, well, this dance studio, they're selling a service, they're selling like kids packages and stuff like that. But it was more of understanding that the deeper sell, like and that's what my coach helped me understand, is be more in their shoes and coming out from what they're seeing, even if they don't 100% see it themselves, or like what they're selling. Like basically, like she's not really selling just dance classes and stuff like that, even though that's what's on paper. What she's selling is like to the parents, a place for their kids to feel secure, to be a trustworthy place, like that is more inviting. And so like the deeper things that are going on within that person's business and what they're providing in their services, not just the surface level. So I really learned from there was, rather than just be surface level, is really think about what they're providing on a deeper basis, what that really means to them, and why that's really important for the business owner, and the clients themselves. And so once I really got a more understanding of those deeper meanings, like, and what kind of things happen if essentially people don't go to that place, then I kind of started being able to sell more, essentially, and do better mindset. So that's kind of like, that was like the first shift for me, was just really kind of understanding more from their perspective and what they're selling on a deeper level. And then as I kept going, it's that deeper level is so important though, when you're discovering people's problems. And because a surface level problem, if it just stays surface level, you're not really painting the picture for them, like what is really going, I don't want to say wrong, but just like what the really value of what you can provide for them. And really showcasing that, like, hey, like this is not just something little, like this is really going to affect your business if you don't get it solved, if you don't get more sales, if you keep wasting your time day in day out doing this stuff. Like if we don't get this solved, really, like it's going to affect how you show up, it's going to affect how your business like operates for the next, I don't know, 20 years and things like that, like whatever it may be on a deeper level. Like, because that's really what the problems are, like, and going in that deep, you're widening the gap and you're showing the true value of what you can provide for them, right?
Yeah. I think that ties in super well to the quote from earlier and what I was thinking about as far as like relationship building. You're not just trying to like get them, oh, they're here, they have a gap and it's this big and we want to get them from point A to point B. It's like if you can build the rapport and understanding that, oh, you think that the problem may only be this and it's a service level, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But wait a second, what are all the different aspects of your business? What are all of the different things that this could potentially affect for you? let's talk about that and what emotional grab will it be? Like how can we, like how many problems will this thing actually solve to you? Because the truth is that like a video is, not many people necessarily want video. A lot of times what they want is more business in our particular case. And why do they
Right.
want more business? Well,
They want to,
because
they
they've
always
got
want to
something
make more
going on.
sales,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always about that. So it's like, I think that a video would help me do that, blah, 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 blah. And that's definitely true. A video could help you do that. But if I don't know that, like, what is it possible that the reason that you want to get more sales is because you're always selling and you don't have time to spend with your family? Oh, well, that's a hugely different problem than just saying, "Oh, I want a video because I think it'll make me look cool." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
that's what building a relationship is
Yeah.
really all
It's
about.
it's the iceberg, it's thinking
Yeah.
about the iceberg, like, they have the small little surface
But the whole thing
problems,
that's under
Yeah.
underneath.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
it's like, "Why do you want a video?" "Oh, we wanna look cool." Right, 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 right.
Yeah.
Well, but why do you wanna look cool? "Oh, 'cause, we want more clients." "Oh, why do you want more clients?" And then
Yep.
boom, you see the next you start getting into the what's underneath the surface, the
Yeah.
true problem. Um,
Yeah, I think my mentor, he calls it the 3 stages of why. It's like,
mhm,
"Well, why do you want this?" "Well, why is that case?" And normally if you ask why 3 times, you can actually get to the real core of a person's
Yeah.
problem. And then, I
yeah,
mean, we're all video people, so we understand that from the video perspective, but this principle of selling applies to literally any type of
Anything.
business.
mhm,
Anything.
Any type. It's
yeah.
is
Yep.
so
100%.
Chris, I gotta know, man. Since you're the dinosaur of the group, and you've
Thanks.
been in the game a little bit longer.
Yeah.
How was it like when time
Yeah,
started?
yes, well, yes. Before, before there was electricity, could you tell us how things work?
Yeah, so we would bring people in and we would crank out these newspapers on this little wheel thing. No. Um, I'm not that deep into it. My first client was only what, over a year ago. um, because I never took
Yeah, me
myself
too.
seriously as an
It was about a,
entrepreneur. I didn't even think that because I have a camera and because I know how to edit and because I know how to do these things that I should charge people for my time. I never ever thought about that for some reason. So my first client came randomly through a Facebook message. Some lady saw what I was doing and wanted to work with me, and I got $750 off of that one, which was nothing. It was nothing at all, man. It was so big for me and whatnot. I mean, I remember freaking out over just trying to create my first invoice for that project and whatnot. But I did not go into that sales meeting very well educated on sales or how to sell my services or what we were going to do together with them and
talk about
whatnot.
an exciting vanity moment, right? The first time you make an invoice for
Yeah,
somebody, you just feel
yeah.
like, "Ooh, I'm so professional and
I'm so
cool."
professional.
You
What
know?
do I number it? Should I put it one so that they know that I've never made an invoice
Oh
before?
my gosh, so cool, so
Yeah.
cool. Sorry, it's
So,
just
yeah, that was
it's
my first
what
start,
a
but I was
moment.
very excited to take out the toys and the gear and, go to her business. It was an ice vending machine business is all it was. So nothing special. But, I didn't know how to help them talk to their potential clients. And I know it's just like drive by, get a bag of ice and fill up your water bottle or whatever, but there was so much more, that we could have been showing people. I mean, we're in Colorado, like fill up your cooler, go to the game, da 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 da. Going out and skiing on the hill. You still want to keep your drinks cold or something like that, or stay refreshed and hydrated at the higher elevations. And there's so much more that we could have done. But then once again, all they wanted was a video. And I couldn't convince them that I could help them with their ads campaign, and so I basically handed over a video that they never did anything with. And that
Mm,
always kind of broke me. Because once again, they were like, well, we'll put it on our Facebook page. Great. You have 49 followers. Who's going to see that?
K
And the majority of them are probably your friends and family that live out in Texas that are nowhere nearby to help you with this one. So that was it. It was fine. It wasn't the best experience, but it wasn't the worst. Learned a lot. Learned a lot of what to do. Learned a lot more of what not to do from that one.
I also wanna just say that one client that, was $1,000 that it was 30 people and stuff, they have yet to do anything with, and
Ugh,
uh, yeah, I know
doesn't
that
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 kill you even more?
oh, it does so much. The video before that, the $500 one, that actually became, an ad that brought in money for them, and
Oh, good.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, it was it did really well actually, for
Nice.
them. So
Yeah.
that's why it was also paying. Like I was also in pain that this other video they didn't do anything with. It's supposed to be on their landing page, and then they could have run it as an ad too.
They never did anything.
No. It was
Yeah.
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 Right.
Guys, just because you build the building and put a front door out there does not mean people are going to walk through it. I cannot believe how many business owners I have sat down and met with that do not get that concept. They think, well, we ran an ad in the paper and, you know, the local TV station came by and did a spot on us. Great. No one's watching TV, and definitely no one's watching those local fluff pieces. Your audience that probably saw that was 100. And if you can convert 1% of those to walk through the door, that's not a lot of people. That's not a lot of new traffic and stuff like that. And of course, if you're not also making sure that their experience is amazing the second they walk through the door, they're not coming back either. It's a whole funnel of system. Anytime you sell something, you are selling through a funnel of some type. You are finding people that have no idea who you are, have no idea what you do, and no idea that you can help them with the problem that they are not even thinking about that they have, and stuff like that. So you got your cold leads out there, and that's going to be the majority of that traffic that you're trying to grab and stuff like that. So putting a video on your Facebook page one time with your 49 followers is not it. It's not it. It's just not it.
Not the solution.
Chris.
That's right.
I
Well-
get frustrated because this is your business. This is your livelihood. This is the thing that's supposed to be changing your life for the better. And if you're not focused on the content portion of it, then you're not doing yourself, your business partners, or your employees any justice. Because if no one knows that you're there, you're
he's
never
still
going to make a sale. No, it's
Still
okay.
going. I was like, oh my god.
As
I
a-
mean,
as a-
I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling
Pumped, I'm
excited. about it.
pumped.
That's right.
But that's how it goes. So
Yeah.
that's it in a nutshell, though. Things have definitely gotten better. I'm now working with way better clients and that understand not only am I delivering this, but I am also creating value for them. And the great thing is now that we're beyond the point of I made one video and we ran some ads and we saw some profits. Now it's like, what other organic content can you make for us and stuff? And now when you go to my clients' pages, their Instagrams, their Facebooks, their YouTubes, it's just stacked with shorts, long form content, all kinds of stuff. So they're giving away information and as much as they can, providing that free kind of like content that's engaging and answering questions with that 20% of like, hey, by the way, if you like this and want to hear more, follow me, like me, subscribe to me, or come on in and buy from me kind of thing. You got to make sure that you're doing that. People need their hands held. It's so lame. That's why click the link below is the number one call to action.
No matter how many times we go through this cycle, people will always need their hand held.
Yep.
And like it's for sales, for everything like that. And I think that's true. Like, I think that's true regardless of what industry you're in, of what sale you're trying to make, of all of these different kinds of things. You will need to walk people through such a process, such telling people what to do. And really the reason that you do this is you, as a salesperson, you identify what their problem is on a deep level. And then from that deep level identification, you have to be the strong person and say, there is a solution to your problem. I am presenting you with this solution and I want to be the person to help you. Honestly, it doesn't have to be me. I would love it to be me, but somebody needs to handle this problem. And so we can do this together. We have this opportunity. Let's figure this out and how to make it, and really just drive this thing to whatever your problem is. But that is the important thing, is like, if you don't understand what the person's problem is in the beginning, then
you're not going to help them get to where they want to be.
You're not going to help them get to where they want to be. They're going to be dissatisfied with your approach, with your product, because your product didn't get them to solve their problem because you didn't know what their problem was in the first place.
Right.
So yeah.
Right on.
Sweet.
Well, that was a trip down memory lane.
Trip
Doesn't
down
it
memory
feel
lane, right?
so long ago now? I remember being in it for that first project. And I remember where I was at, the stress, the anxiety, and I love that it feels like a distant memory and how far I've come from them and, how much more value I can provide for my clients going forward.
Yeah, Chris, you and I both, our experiences were both maybe about a year ago at this point. How long ago was your experience that you're talking about, Raymond?
Wasn't that 2019 you said?
For
that $1,000 dance recital thing?
Oh, that was the dance studio was actually my first $2,500 business video business card.
Nice.
And then I didn't sell anything for pretty much the year before that at all. Like I'd almost stopped, like like I had a 6 months dry spell of trying to get back into the business and doing stuff. So and 2020 I was working in a hospital. I wasn't really doing much. It was 2019 really when I it kind of blurs together, but I think it was 2019 when I did
So
that video.
you've been in it a while.
Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
it was been on and off. I started this company 2018. I did have a couple stuff. I don't even remember all the things that I did. Like there's probably some other clients that those weren't my first actual paid things. I just can't remember. Those are
Yeah.
the biggest things that come to my mind. So
Right on. Well, it's awesome that we're here now. And of course, guys, you know, we're all entrepreneurs. We all own our own business. I run Altitude Productions out of Colorado. Raymond's got Front Pocket Productions out of Houston.
Oh, whoa,
And
whoa,
then-
whoa, 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 whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
You're mixing us up again.
Again.
What did I say?
You said Raymond's got Front
I
Pocket
did
in
not.
Texas.
Well, that's
Yeah,
not
you
what I meant to say,
did.
guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Once again,
that's all right.
looking at a name tag and looking at a face at the same time is what's throwing that off. So Nick is out of Houston with Front Pocket Productions.
He really
and Raymond
wants
is
you to
out of-
be me. He like
Yeah,
really
I
wants
do,
you
really
to be
badly.
me.
And then Raymond, what city are you out of? Like out Los Angeles is really the easiest thing to say.
Yeah, let's say LA.
Okay. And then you've got APC. What is it? AP Collectives?
Yeah,
APCO?
APCO, apcollectivefilms.com because the name is hard to pronounce.
So what's the most recent thing that you guys are working on and are looking forward to help any new clients with?
Like,
What's your
are you talking
specialty?
about one of our last like sales that we've done, or like
Yeah,
the
aren't
sales
you talking about
process
you've
as
got a
we're
content
in?
retainer that you're working on right now? I think Raymond
Yeah.
just grabbed a content retainer as well.
Yes, yeah. So very briefly, I've been working with this group as a little while, and let's actually talk real quick about this as a providing value first and moving on model.
Yeah.
Where I've been working with a VR company for a short period of time, and we started out by doing a project like a literal just for fun switch off, where we got to play a few VR games and we shot like 1 or 2 small pieces of content for them. They ended up loving the content, and we got to talking more about how this content can be used to help drive sales. And why did they need to help drive sales? Well, they just opened up a new store. And why did they just open up a new store? Because they were expanding at the first one, but this new one is just not working out the way it should be. And now if they don't do this, they're going to be in a lot of, kind of hot water of like, wait, I thought this business model worked, but is there something else? And so all of these other questions started to come about. And because we were able to identify a lot of these problems, we showed them a really good product. They were like, oh, we've been working with blah, blah, blah marketing company, and they never asked us these questions. They never thought to think this way. They never thought, how do we actually, instead of just getting eyes on the product, how do we convert to sales? Because that's what we need. Not just eyes on the product, but we need people to buy. How do we do all that? So like, okay, now that we identified exactly what the problem was, yes, we can do that. and it's been able to turn into potentially one of the biggest deals that we've got. So
right on.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then Raymond, aren't you like working on a new retainer project?
Yeah, I have a couple. I'm just kind of dialing in stuff with them.
Yeah.
It's really like we're going to one of them, we're going to our next phase of using content to get them more sales, short form stuff like that, traffic, all that jazz. They're a very large plumbing company, and they have not really done much with their digital presence, or they have done they have all the ads and digital leads and stuff like that, but
I know
plumbing company and
yeah. So it's I realized that
it just wipes us away.
Like
we weren't gonna let it slide.
I get that. Yeah. No, it's been pretty good.
Right on.
That's pretty much what I'm biggest thing I'm working on right now.
Cool.
Yeah. Right on.
All right, Chris, what about you?
I am fortunate that I have entered into a partnership profit share with my client. I, once again, started with providing value, showing what I was worth, what I could bring to it. We started out trying to make an online course, and it turned out the group coaching was the best way to go. And now we're running a course, group coaching, so many other things. He's in the real estate world, so it's kind of complicated, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but there's a lot of other things that he can make money off of in the real estate game that I am now helping make content for outside of the course, the coaching, and everything else. So I'm basically stepping in as a chief marketing officer for this other company at this point now. So anything they do creative and stuff, I just oversee and whatnot. And he's got 5 more companies, so we might be partnering on many, many more things.
Look at this.
And I've got the smallest potential to maybe build another online course with a client that I'm meeting with tomorrow for the 3rd time. So
Look at this. Look at this, gents. You start by adding this much value,
little
and then
value.
you prove your worth, and you
Yep.
just keep growing and growing and growing. Your clients become bigger and better. It
Yeah.
works for them. It works for you. That is the definition of a win-win.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. It was fun hanging out with you guys again today. I love that we were talking about some stuff that we're passionate about, helping out clients. I know that's why I got into this. I'm assuming that's the same thing. As much as I love editing and shooting and stuff like that, having those results, those real physical, tangible results at the end of it is really the best thing. Especially when you can really help someone that sets out to start a business and is struggling, but then you can help make that, that vision, that dream a reality just by making a couple silly videos. I love that it's sometimes more complicated than that, but it also doesn't have to be. So I want to thank you guys for coming and hanging with me. I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning into today's show. If you enjoyed what you heard, tune in every week for more, and please consider subscribing on whatever platform you're enjoying us on. If it's on that Apple podcast, be sure to give us the biggest 5-star review you can. Until next time, please remember, now is the time to turn that content creation into monetization. We will see you all again on the next episode. Until then, have a great day. Peace.
Peace out.